Part two of the Super Bowl 56 recap. Brad Restituto at Brad the Believer on Instagram, also on Twitter. Search Brad the Believer on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. Rams win 23-20, Super Bowl 56, Cooper Kupp MVP. In the first video, we broke down a lot of why the Bengals lost the game. I thought it was due to offensive play calling more so than anything else. So let's talk about from the Rams' perspective what they did on the offensive and defensive side enough to win. A lot of people thought Sean McVay was too conservative as they were getting nothing out of their running game. I thought it was a meticulous plan by McVay trying to set up the play action pass. And as I was watching the Super Bowl with a buddy of mine and some family, he kept asking, why do they keep running the ball? They're not having any success. I said, they're trying to set up the play action pass. And I thought that's what they were doing. And they hit a couple nice plays off of that play action, one for a touchdown in the first half. In the second half, they couldn't get much going and they were having no success with that running game. And I thought it was to set them up. And I think when they lost Odell Beckham Jr., it kind of changed a little bit of that philosophy, setting up the run game for the play action pass. So they didn't quite utilize the play action enough in the second half like they thought they would. And that may be due to the fact that Odell Beckham Jr. was lost in that first half due to injury. So I realized they weren't having success, but I was telling my friend they're not running the ball to have success. They're running it to set up the play action. And that sounds a little weird and double-sided, but I really thought they knew they weren't having a lot of success, but I really thought they were trying to set up that play action pass, but not having Odell Beckham Jr. Their backup tight end Blanton was out with an injury. They were down to the third tight end because Tyler Higbee was out. So I think that changed some of what they wanted to do. I still thought they could have done a better job with the creativity on offense with the Rams. But you got to have so much confidence in a McVay that you knew that they were hanging around long enough. The Bengals didn't put them away, that they were going to find a way to score. That's what I thought, at least. Even though Stafford kind of did as much as he could to give the game away at times and was not as accurate as he could have been after that first quarter. But the Bengals did not put the Rams away, and they had opportunities to go up multiple scores, and I thought they could have really put the heat on them, but they were unable to do it. I thought Evan McPherson would be bones, and he was perfect. Gabe was great with his field goal, except they had that miscue on the extra point, which almost ended up costing them, but it did not. So, and of course, you got to credit the Rams defense. It was the biggest flaw in the Super Bowl that we talked about from an analyzation aspect, that vaunted defensive line led by Aaron Donald of the Rams against the offensive line of the Bengals that gave up 9 sacks against the Tennessee Titans in the divisional round. They gave up 7 sacks in the Super Bowl. The sacks didn't lead to any turnovers. Burrow took good care of the ball. He did make one rushing first down with his legs, which I thought was important. But again, like I said in the first video, the Bengals did not show enough creativity in the passing game and in the running game to keep the Rams off balance in key moments in the second half when they had the lead. They got a little too predictable for my liking against a defense and an advantage where is the biggest one, which is that defensive line versus the offensive line. So I give a failing grade to the offensive play callers of the Bengals. I don't give a great grade to McVay and company for the offensive play calling of the Rams, although that fourth down play on the kind of like the fly sweep to Cooper Kupp, it really wasn't a fly sweep more than it was a handoff with him coming in motion from left to right and him picking up the first down. Really gutsy, fantastic play call and a good effort by Cooper Kupp there to pick up that big fourth down. And of course the penalty on the third down, which was suspect, but of course they missed some on the other end as well. So you've got to give the Rams a lot of credit, but I thought the game played out like I anticipated. I thought the Rams would get off to the quicker start. And even though I gave some love in my initial breakdown before the Super Bowl to that Bengals defense, clearly not enough, because they absolutely kept them in this game from start to finish. They were incredible against the run. I thought that interception in the end zone, I believe that was by Jesse Bates. You don't see a lot of DBs that have great hands in this league. That was a tough catch, him adjusting to the football, turning his hips, finding the ball and catching it with his hands in the back of the end zone was a fantastic change in momentum there. And of course, off the tip, after the touchdown, the Mixon touchdown pass to Higgins, they came back on the next play and the first play from scrimmage in that third quarter for the Rams. Stafford was back to pass, tried to catch a crossing route that was behind the receiver. It went off of his hand and into the hands of the Bengals defender. Again, you don't see DBs consistently securing the football, and that's why a lot of teams lose games like that. But the Bengals put themselves in prime position to win. They weren't overly penalized. They hang on to those interceptions. But I go back to the offensive creativity, the coaching staff not putting away the Rams. So the Rams, of course, they lost the turnover battle. The kicking battle they lost barely. So you could say the special teams from that perspective. But I thought, as far as the punting goes, Johnny Hekker was fantastic for the Rams, and in counter, Kevin Huber was not. You had a couple punts from midfield. They don't even get inside the 20. I thought was a terrible job. So you can break down the little things, and this is what makes and breaks seasons in big games like this. And the Rams did enough. They deserve the title. They deserve all the credit. And look, there's no promise that the Bengals and Joe Burrow get back there. The AFC is tough, and that's why I said on Twitter earlier in the year, I did not think that the Kansas City Chiefs may never get to another Super Bowl, even with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, because of guys like Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and the like in the AFC. So I guess I'll give you a quick little Super Bowl prediction to 2023 as we wrap this video up. I think it's going to be the Bills getting over the hump next year and representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. As far as the NFC goes, you'll have to wait for my next video for that prediction. So I hope everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl. I hope they have a great week. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Brad the Believer on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, Brad Restituto. Thank you guys for your support, and continue to follow as you see what I have in store for the rest of 2022. There's going to be some great things on the way for the next couple months. So hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Take care.